Welcome to the first session of introducing batting to our 6 and 8U level players. As a coach, what I like to do is just kind of keep it simple. And when we're working on hitting, what I like to do is just have the ladies take their bat and let's just work on a nice wide stance. So we're just going to at least bat width apart, not too short, not too big. And all we're going to do is pick it up. And I like the golfer's grip. So I can put that in the middle of the plate, and that brings their knees into a little bit of flexion. Okay, so we call this the hinge, and then just put it on their shoulder. And from the shoulder, all they're going to do is just lift it straight up. So this is their resting position when they're waiting for the pitch. The other way I like to explain it is imagine that the back of their handle is like a flashlight. So the flashlight should always be facing towards the plate. And then when they go to swing, they kind of just make a little gentle motion towards the catcher with their flashlight. It's facing that way. And then they're going to get to their front hip and then follow through. And I put a ball just to kind of give them an example of where they're going to make contact is all in the front and follow through. Just to recap, when you're looking at their stance, we want to build it from the bottom up. Good stance length of the bat. Nice golfer's grip where you got a hinge in the hip, which they call is going to be a hinge. And they're just going to put it on their shoulder. And imagine that the flashlight image is facing towards the plate. They're looking at a good hinge. And they're just going to load the flashlight to the catcher and then swing to their front hip and then follow through. Take a right step to run to first. Welcome to a second session of introducing some mechanics for hitting at that 6 and 8U level at the RYFSA. What I like to do after you've done the load and hinge to the catcher drill, I like to just go ahead and give them 2 balls and have them stack it on top. And what they're going to work on doing is getting into their hinge, having a good stance, and what they're going to do is load to the catcher. And what I want them to work on doing is throwing this top hand right back at the pitcher, and then you have someone at the pitcher, they'll throw it to first, they can practice running. So you're getting a little bit of defense, and you're getting a little bit of working on getting the load a little bit, and all they're going to do is push that hand through, so when they swing, they're getting right to that front hip and following through. Welcome to the first session of working on how to catch a softball with our 6 and 8U in the RYFSA. One thing I like to do is start out with a tennis ball. So if you have a couple tennis balls, what I like to work on is the 12 and 6 rule. So we're working on the 12 o'clock. This would be 12 o'clock on a clock. There's 3 o'clock and 6. So the 6 o'clock is going to be strictly kind of defensive, but we're going to work on pop fly. So what you want to work on doing is elbow down. When we were doing our throwing, we were talking about big L, so we want elbow up. This one's going to be elbow down. So what they're thinking of is that the ball is going to land, and I'm going to try to trap it in there. So a great way to do it right away off the bat was if you had a tennis ball, is I'd have them work on trying to catch it above their head. So catch it above their head, 2 hands, catch it above their head, just working on 2 hands on a tennis ball and kind of off to the shoulder so no one hits their head. Working on a second stage of teaching them how to catch with the elbow down concept and trying to keep it off to their left shoulder. What I like to do is have the coach directly in front of the line, have the ladies off to the side. Do not have them directly behind you. And all they're going to do is when they put their glove up, you're going to have the coach try to throw it to this side, to their left side. Don't throw it at their face, because if they miss, it's back at the face. So nice and easy. Have them toss it up, and I'm going to try to catch it with that glove, trying to keep it on their net. So you're really tossing it to the glove. They're here, and then I would just have them bring big L, and I'd have them fire it back at the coach. Let's recap a little bit on that second session on incorporating the actual game ball size. What I like to do is just when they put their left hand up, kind of catching a ball, you want to have elbow down, and then as the coach wants to throw it up and try to really focus on throwing it into their glove off of their face so it doesn't hit them in the face. So develop a little bit of confidence, catching it right there. They can then turn around, go big L, throw it back. Again, coach throws it nice and high, and I'm trying to catch it on that left shoulder and then throw it back. So welcome to the third session of just learning how to catch and building up a little bit of confidence with your players. So a second drill in the outfield that I like to do with them is just going to be the Viking drill. So what does that mean? I'm going to act like I'm a wide receiver, so you'll put them in a little stance like this, so tuck their glove. They're right in line with their ball. They're behind you. And all you're going to have them do is start running on the grass, and there's a coach right in front of you. And what they're going to try to do is throw it to 3 o'clock. So this one we worked on 12. We worked on 6. Now we're working on 3. So when they're in this position, they're going to start running. The coach is going to try to throw it out in front of them. They'll catch it, turn around, and I want them to fire it back to the coach. And the next person gets in line. They got to get in their racer stance like they're playing in the outfield. Working on coaches throwing to the glove. So keep it away from their face so they build a little bit of confidence. Again, they'll say go, they'll run, catch it with 2 hands, turn around, and throw as hard as they can right back at the coach. Welcome to the first session on introducing the ground ball and playing a little bit of first base with our 6 and 8U group. What I like to do is just get them in a line, make sure that the other half of the team is over there. They start behind the line so you can create any line you want. You have a coach in front of you, and I'm just going to have them in their good athletic stance. We're going opposite of the 12 o'clock approach was catching fly balls here. Now we're working 6 o'clock, trying to guard this hole right here. So coach will roll the ball. They'll step up to the line, field it, bring it up to their chest, and then all I got to do is have them take a step, and then they're going to turn around and big L again and throw it right back to the coach. So it goes back to the coach. Next player steps up, jumps down the line, going to take a step up, fields it out in front, brings it to the chest so that we don't drop it, touches the base, turn square, big L, throw it to the coach.